One, we're live. Hey guys, it's DigiByte's birthday, and you got me and Garrett, the DigiByte Brothers, celebrating today. Not today is his birthday, but January 10th was his birthday. Garrett, you there?
I am here. I am here. I'm so happy that we made it to the 7th year with the creation of DigiByte. We've come a long way. We still have some more time to go, but we're gonna celebrate. Just give applause to DigiByte for being what it is in 7 years. I mean, who would
Yeah,
have thought?
it's a resilient blockchain. It's been around for 7 years. A lot of people haven't heard about it, but they're going to hear about it in 2021. I think this is the year for DigiByte. What you think?
I totally agree. I sure think that that DigiByte and the DigiByte community is going to continue to outgrow and grow within. I think DigiByte has the potential. When I say the potential, I mean the potential to do great things. I'm completely I'm just glad that I'm a part of the DigiByte community, and DigiByte has opened itself to me, without any biases towards any other crypto coins. But man, I'm gonna tell you, I look forward to all the projects that DigiByte has in store for us, and we're going to continue to grow. So, I mean, what do you think? What do you foresee happening with DigiByte?
Well, Jared Tate, the creator of DigiByte blockchain, came out today and said that he wants to create something called the Liberty. Um, Hold on, let me get the correct name for it.
What is it, like a social media platform or something?
Yeah, it's going to be a social media platform, and it's called Liberty. Hold on.
I think that's pretty.
Libertas. And it says, ladies and gentlemen, work has started on Libertas 2021. Libertas is a decentralized social media platform powered by the DigiByte blockchain. Libertas, Latin for liberty or freedom, is the Roman goddess of liberty. So basically, they're creating a social media platform that's decentralized so that people can't be kicked off of it by the mainstream media. And Jared is a fan of Donald Trump, but I think kicking people off social media and they have no social media outlet, it can be just due for certain people. But some people get kicked off of Facebook, off of Twitter, and a lot of the times it's not justified. So this new social media platform is going to take advantage of decentralization and hopefully create something that the public will use.
No, I totally agree. I think when I came across that as well, I did see that earlier. I think it's pros and cons to all of it. I think essentially being able to censor someone for whatever their thought process is, is it's like a catch 20. What is it? 21.
22. It's the catch 22.
Like catch 22. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking 21 because it's 2021. But I think essentially, we have to have some sort of boundaries. We have to have some sort of awareness of how our words actually affect not only the community that we live in, but just the world that we live in. So I mean, I don't know what to think or how to think about it. Having people, Twitter accounts or social media accounts, taken down because they say something that someone else doesn't agree with at the, in a centralized setting. I mean, sheesh, but I do think that on the other side of it, we do allow for people to be able to have a conversation without, someone opposing it and not having any justification for the reason why they're removing you or deleting your content. I think most importantly, that DigiByte, we know that primarily their focus is on cybersecurity, the security of people's information. So with that being, noted and said, we look at what happened in the Capitol, right? The Capitol attacks, or the rioting,
And what could have provoked that is what people are saying, that his social media presence and all of the things that he did on social media are the things that caused this uproar at the Capitol. And I can see partially how his race baiting has caused some divisiveness in the communities of ours in the United States. But what I don't totally agree with is social media platforms having the ability, without you being able to go through some type of process to potentially get your access back, like a due process for you to try to get your access to your social media back. I know people who get put in Facebook jail all the time.
No, I totally agree. I mean, like I stated before, I think without the boundaries or without any sort of process, like you stated, that that potentially put us in a situation where Jared Tate, the creator of DigiByte, wants to create a platform for those who want a decentralized social network, like media network. I think
Right, I agree.
I think it's a
I
great.
think that's what his goal is. Yes. So,
Um,
Garrett, have you ever heard of the book, The Art of Possibility?
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about it because it talks about two types of thinking. One thinking is the glorious opportunity approach to life, and then there's the downward spiral approach to life. The book is The Art of Possibility by Benjamin Zander and Rosamund Stone. And it reminds me of DigiByte because when you first find DigiByte, you can be like, glorious opportunity. No one has it yet. The world is moving towards it. Or you can be in a downward spiral. The price is too cheap and it's never going to go up. Or, it's two types of thinking when you look at things. And I think as a DigiByte Brothers, we're glorious opportunity approach thinkers, where we think that DigiByte is going to be a great, great, great investment, not only for ourselves, but for other people. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. I think anytime you do something that's forward thinking and people don't catch on right away, it gives those who actually have the foresight to see and envision, and invest, in a product or a service, given that DigiByte is, forward thinking in their projects. I mean, not everybody's going to catch on right away, but, again, we are here to spread that, that information for those who are not catching on, or those who are ready to put themselves in positions to either, use the technology, or secondly, be able to invest in the technology that is eventually going to be used. I mean,
yeah. And the great thing about the DigiByte technologies, or the use cases for DigiByte, is most of them are free, right? DigiID is a free application that you use to log into websites. Come on, cybersecurity, that's what DigiByte's all about. Have you ever used DigiID?
I have. I thought it was cool, man. Be honest with you. It makes me want to, reach out to them and implement it on a website that I'm designing. I mean, just imagine how many websites that can actually implement this technology and safeguard, you know, people's private information that is, normally being for sale or sold to third party vendors and companies. I mean, really,
Yeah,
let us hold our own keys to our own information and give it away. You know,
yeah, I think you're right. The good thing is business, well, data or big data is a big business. And what we don't realize is they use a lot of our data to track us, to sell us stuff. And I guess that's not going to stop happening. But with DigiID, what it does is you don't ever need a username or password again. In fact, you would authenticate your account with your DigiByte wallet, which is free, by the way, to download.
absolutely.
So, what's been in the crypto news? I know I've been reading some articles. Have you been reading any articles?
Yeah, I came across some cool articles actually. Um, one of the, I mean, well, of course, in addition to the capital attacks, they are really worried about cybersecurity. Being, having a fallout in that area. I mean, with all the stolen laptops, the loss of data, and possibly espionage. I think what happened on January the 6th, those attacks on that election certification proceedings. I mean, when you really think about it, like, was that like what a coincidence it happens on that day in the US Capitol building. But I think in addition to that, those items being stolen, I think that's a big opportunity for DigiByte to explore, or the government to explore, DigiByte's blockchain technology. I mean, the fact that those items were stolen, according to, I believe one report that came from an acting U.S. Attorney for D.C., Michael Sherwin, who stated items such as electronic items were stolen, from senators' offices, documents, and such, blah, blah, blah. They have to identify what was done to mitigate, the possible, the unthinkable. All these items are being taken from the offices, and I mean, amid, any stolen laptops, lost data, any potential possibilities of a cybersecurity breach. I truly think when we really look back at those events, that we are in a position, DigiByte, I'm talking about, and the DigiByte Brothers, to continue to spread the word about cybersecurity, because it's really, really, really important for us to be able to protect our private information. The
Yeah, in
government
fact, the
holds a
Genesis
lot of it.
block, Garrett, the Genesis block of DigiByte basically said on its first block in its blockchain, basically they hashed DigiByte basically is here to solve the cybersecurity problems. I can't remember the particular saying, but give me a second to look it up. But Garrett, we were at $1 trillion market cap for all cryptocurrency this last week. I
Oh
mean, we
yeah.
do need to talk about that.
Oh yeah,
One
yeah.
trillion dollars.
Yeah, 1 trillion. I think that's a nice benchmark for the crypto community, and that's probably most likely without a large community of what is it, institutional investors. I mean, I'm sure most of those those who are investing in the crypto market are private investors. I mean, just imagine, you know, how much money is actually being traded on the forex market. I mean, it's the largest market in the world, and I think crypto is going to eventually take over that scene. I won't say completely. I think forex is going to be around the foreign exchange market, but I think crypto has time
It's
to
good.
grow into that.
it's good that an alternative market to the forex market is here. An alternative to sovereign currency. Now you have the ability to have private currency. Um, you know, it's something that I think we all should be excited about. It's money that's not being printed into infinity, and it's money that we can depend on to keep its value or appreciating value. I found the Genesis block quote. It said on
Okay.
January 10th, 2014, the network began its blockchain memory chain, storing its first known block as a Genesis block with the hash headline US Today, 10 January 2014, target data stolen from up to 110 million customers. So since the commencement of the DigiByte blockchain, it's been all about cybersecurity. I mean, its existence is cybersecurity.
And I think what a lot of the crypto community, don't know about DigiByte is that that's our primary focus. It's not really so much a store of value of like like the payment to payment, even though it's pretty fast, to send over a DigiByte transaction. We talking about what, 15 seconds for it to confirm on the blockchain and
15 seconds.
instantaneously.
So not only are we steadfast, resilient, long, strong, and all of those wonderful things, we're all about use cases for cybersecurity. Jared Tate, the creator of the DigiByte blockchain, says that 95% of all cybersecurity threats or vulnerabilities could be solved through DigiID or blockchain. Sorry. And 95% of data insecurity can be resolved through blockchain. That's a powerful statement, and it lets us know that we're headed to a future of privacy. And privacy is something that privacy. Did I say it right? Privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Privacy is something that we're going to get back in the coming years if you want it. Again, it takes the individual to step up and start using the technology that exists so you can protect yourself. I know a lot of people use virtual private networks, which are VPNs and things like that. So if you're someone that uses a VPN, you're definitely someone that wants to get DigiID. So, Garrett, with a $1 trillion market cap, they compare cryptocurrency to gold because gold has trillions of dollars in market cap. What does it mean for cryptocurrency? A lot of people are saying that Bitcoin is this highly volatile asset, but they don't understand that nothing has ever priced that high as far as an asset class ever in the world. So the volatility in it is going to be dramatic, but the people that buy in should buy into hold, not buy into trade, because it's not a very predictable currency.
No, I totally agree. I think we pretty much price and value the things that we consider valuable. And the technology, that Bitcoin has brought to the forefront, I mean, is I don't know. I guess, being the first cryptocurrency to do what it has done, is pretty interesting, to say the least.
Did you hear about what happened at the HSBC Bank?
With the they're not accepting cryptocurrency anymore from.
Well, they're not accepting your deposits from cryptocurrency gains, so you can't move your money from an exchange to HSBC. But that's the good thing, is that there's banks that you can go to another bank and use another bank, which will allow you to do that. I don't think all banks are going to start preventing people from getting their capital gains. That'll be quite selfish.
I mean, given the consideration that these regulations with the OCC, they're allowing banks to be able to become custodians. I mean, maybe HSBC is not going to be one of those banks that want to be involved in that. But that's on them. Like it's going to be other banks that they may even assume or get dissolved because they're not catching up with the times. I mean, look at what Blockbuster did. They had an opportunity to take advantage of the opportunity. I mean, they had advantage to take an opportunity to take advantage of what Netflix was doing, but they didn't take it.
They did it, but they did it very late.
They did it late, right? I'm saying at the same time, like, so, I guess when you look at what's happening, it's either you're going to go with
Netflix
it.
Is a very resilient company now that you say it, because Netflix still exists today, and I don't think they're going anywhere. So Netflix, Amazon, Facebook, these are really household names of companies who have created things that people love. And I think that's what DigiByte will be for a lot of people once they find out exactly what DigiByte is. It's a cryptocurrency that's scarce. There's only 21 billion ever created on the ledger. And it's an alternative currency to the currency that we use that's been inflated. And inflation is really destroying the value of the dollar. Goods and services are going up. But the good thing is we have something to replace, holding money. I mean, we do want to keep dollars around, but do you want to hold dollars for savings? I don't know. Not with inflation around the corner, and no bank is giving you what is it? An interest rate that keeps your money up with inflation.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the benefit for me anyway. I mean, I'm just thinking like the amount of money that I've put inside of a bank. I put that same money inside of my DigiByte. I've accumulated probably 2,000 times or 2,000%, since it's been in DigiByte. So there's no bank, like you said, no bank that is offering to even provide you interest in the amount like they're taking your deposits and lending your money out. They're not giving you a piece of the pie. Like, come on, man.
Right. So let's talk about fractional reserve banking real fast. A lot of people don't know what fractional reserve banking is, but what people don't realize is that every deposit that you make from your bank, they get to relend it at 90%, which means that they only have to have 10% of what they lend on file. Not on file, on file because money is electronic, but they only have to have 10% of what they lend on record. So that means that a lot of money is being printed by local banks. These banks that give you these loans, these banks have the authority to create new money. And this is what's causing a lot of the inflation, because a lot of the money is being printed through fractional reserve banking, and there's no real way to back the money up because there's no, it's no longer considered reserve currency. It's just money out of thin air that's printed. It's called fiat, and that's what they call it, fiat, which is fiat currency, which is backed by governments. And the money really has no value at all. It's basically the value that we give to it. Yeah. So how familiar are you with fractional reserve banking?
I actually knew a little bit about it. I did read up on it, but I thought it was pretty interesting that they have that authority to do that.
Yeah, they have the authority to print money. Because when you're younger, I've been to the what is it? The Federal, not the Federal Reserve, but what's the mint place where they mint the coins and print the money?
Oh, the
I
U.S.
went to
Mint.
DC, yeah, U.S. Mint,
Uh-huh.
and you see all this money just being printed, and you thinking that only this central existence can print the money, but no, money is printed on computers every day. Um, it's pretty sad that banks have that authority, but now that they have this ability to hold cryptocurrency and store it for clients and customers, we're looking at some different things that's going to happen, because the banks are getting new power. And this new power, I think they're just going to find a place in this, because it's room, even though it's decentralization, there's room for centralization to happen. And some people aren't going to feel comfortable with decentralization 100%. So they need a mixture of it. When I tell people all the time to write your keys down and don't lose it for your cryptocurrency, they get all upset. Like, I don't know if I'm responsible enough to hold my keys. What if I lose it? And that's why I tell people, write it down multiple times. Your private key for cryptocurrency is something that you should never lose. You should write it down in ink and pen and put it in multiple places, because if you lose those keys, you lose access to your cryptocurrency. But there's going to be people who don't want to actually hold their own private keys, and they're going to want to have custodial help with these banks that the OCC, Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, has just given in the letter. What was the letter called? Letter of what?
The initiative. I think it was like an initiative letter of some sort, report.
Yeah.
So I mean, essentially, no, you're correct. But I tell people, if you can't hold your keys, why have keys to your house? Who holds keys to your house? I'm sure you don't have everyone in your house having keys, or any individual having keys to your house. I mean, if you look at it from that aspect, put it in a safe place, fireproof, a fireproof safe, you'll be able to feel responsible, feel safe in knowing that, hey, my keys are safe.
Yeah, I think you made a good point. A key is a key. A metal key, a key written on paper, a key is a key. And if you gave your key to everybody, they'll just come into your house. So that's why it's important that you keep your key safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, girl, we got about 3 minutes left on the podcast, and I wanted to talk about DigiByte's birthday again, because it's been 7 years of resilient blockchain. We're over 2 million blocks, while Bitcoin only has 600,000 blocks. We're the definition of resilience. That's what we are. And I'm not just saying that. 7 years of battle-hardened blockchain that's been around doing what it's supposed to do for 7 years. I think that's a reason to trust this blockchain with your wealth.
No, I totally think that, DigiByte has definitely come a long way. And we can continue to see the advancements that it's going to take for the adoption of its technology. I mean, we already have, just like any business that starts out, that is considered volunteer based, or is not, it has no CEO. I mean, it's going to take a little time. It's going to take a little bit more time than those who are already marketing their cryptocurrencies in other ways. And
Right.
I think,
But Gary, DigiByte doesn't have any marketing, and that's the power behind it, right?
right.
it's decentralized and it's by word of mouth.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Gert, did you have anything else to say before we close out?
You know what? I do. You know, for those who are interested in finding out more about DigiByte, you know, absolutely go to the DigiByte website, which is digibyte.io, and you can learn as much as you possibly can from this. Which is again, you can visit the DigiByte website, www.digibyte.io, which is on the screen. We are here as volunteers and as people who really care, you know, about this space. We believe in the technology. We do see the advantages of being able to adopt this technology, to be able to safeguard our information, to protect us from the threat of ever having to be exposed. You know, I've worked in corporate America, and I see, you know, and I've noticed, you know, how information is used and how it's sometimes not, I'll say, disposed of correctly, you know. So I'll say this in closing, you know, do your research, do your research, do your research. Uh, Reach one, teach one. And I say again, you know, as a DigiByte brother, you know, thanks for listening to our podcast. This is the second episode, January 12th, 2021. We'll be doing more shows. Come join us. We are on Twitter. We're on Facebook. And, you know, oftentimes
We're on YouTube.
on YouTube as well. So you can check us out, subscribe, like, and comment. We be giving out free DigiByte from time to time. So for those who are interested, come check us out and subscribe. We out.